More human remains are found today in the Kentucky River. Coming up, why the coroner's office may be one step closer to figuring out who these bones belong to.
He's just a great young man and true leader.
Friends, family, and strangers are mourning a Louisville police officer and a Lexington man killed in a crash in downtown Lexington this morning. How they're remembering the two men. And Kentucky is inching closer toward bowl eligibility after a win over Missouri.
There's still so much more we can do and will do.
But Coach Stoops and the team are looking beyond bowl games.
This is WKYT News at 11.
Thanks for staying up with WKYT. I'm Sean Moody. The last weekend of October is here. If you don't believe us, go check the calendar. November is almost here, even if it doesn't feel like it out there. WKYT meteorologist Jim Caldwell is tracking more of that warm weather in your no-wait weather forecast.
It is hard to believe, Sean, but we are still dealing with a lot of warmth out there. And at this point, you are dealing with it because it is so much warmer than what we should be seeing. It's 65 right now. It's 11 o'clock at night, October 29th. And our normal daytime high that usually occurs between about 3 and 5 o'clock is 63 degrees, and we're still at 65 with a south-southwest wind at around 9 miles per hour. So we are warm, and we're warm all over the place. You're going to find some pockets of 50s out there, like from Danville to Somerset to Monticello, but then you've got more 60s out to our east, into Mount Sterling, into Moorhead, and upper 60s across southeastern Kentucky. So we're kind of all over the place. Through the overnight we go. I think we'll all wake up to some of those 50s in the area, mid to upper. Then daytime highs are right back into the 70s for you as we get into the afternoon and evening hours. But notice the sky here to the north. You can see this much cooler shading and cooler temperatures starting to invade. That is a front, and I will track it into the area coming up for you in just a few minutes.
Jim, thank you. A mystery along the Kentucky River. Today, search crews found more human remains in a car in the river near the Valley View Ferry. This comes a week after they found bones in a car last Saturday right in that same area of the river. Now, the question is, who do the remains belong to? WKYT's Monique Blair asked the coroner that question in our top story at 11.
It is a shame that even after what is supposedly several years, that these remains hadn't been found before then.
It's a mystery to pretty much everyone. And today at the Kentucky River, the quest to solve this mystery continued. The remaining part of the vehicle that was pulled out last Saturday was pulled out of the river today. The intention was to see if there were any more human bones in or near that car.
We did find a human right femur bone. That's the longest bone of the body, and that's in your lower extremity.
Fayette County Coroner Gary Ginn says 2 radius and an ulna were also found, all bones from the forearm. He says he believes all of these bones came from one person. This news is shocking to those who travel through this part of the river often.
But I will say that it's something that I'll think of when I'm crossing the ferry every time.
Now, Coroner Ginn initially said he wasn't sure if the car and the human remains that were found were associated with one another, but now he's saying he believes they are.
So now car experts are trying to determine the VIN number, which in turn would be able to provide the particular make, model, and year of the vehicle.
We think we know that, but again, we're not going to divulge that. I don't want to get anybody's false hopes up.
Also found in the car were some personal belongings. Coroner Ginn wouldn't specify what those items were, but he says he believes they are one step closer to solving this mystery.
All these things will help kind of put the puzzle back together so that we're able to tell the family who this is and that they've been found.
In Fayette County, Monique Blair, WKYT.
The National Missing and Unidentified Persons System is helping out with the case. Now, moving forward, the divers, the coroner's office, and the Lexington Police Robbery Homicide Unit will meet to decide whether or not they need to do more searches there around the Valley View Ferry. The Louisville Police Department is mourning the loss of one of their own tonight. Lexington police say a Louisville police officer and another man were killed in a crash early this morning. Police said those two were standing along South Upper Street asking for directions when they were hit by an SUV. Detective Jason Schweitzer and Timothy Moore were rushed to the hospital where they died. The Kentucky State Fraternal Order of Police president says Schweitzer was in Lexington for a conference. WKYT's Sabira Rayford talked to him about the loss.
Well, it's devastating news. Jason was just an extraordinary young man.
It's a loss the Fraternal Order of Police weren't expecting.
We've got over 160 delegates here right now for our fall conference, and you know, it's just a sad mood for all of us.
The crash happened around 2:30 this morning. Police say two men were standing on the side of this road when a drunk driver lost control of her car and hit them.
You know, police work, being a police officer was in his blood. That was his life.
Police say both men in the crash were taken to the hospital where they later died. The coroner's office has identified the two men as 56-year-old Timothy Moore of Lexington and 37-year-old Jason Schweitzer. Schweitzer was a Louisville detective and also a member of the Kentucky Fraternal Order of Police.
He had a bright future, not just in his police department, but in the Fraternal Order of Police. He was vice president of River City Lodge 614, which is our largest lodge in the state. He's just a great young man and a true leader.
The Louisville Metro Police Department released a statement saying, quote, "We offer our sincerest condolences to Jason's family and friends, for when one of us hurts, we all hurt." Louisville's Mayor Greg Fisher was also saddened by the loss.
Obviously a horrible thing for our city, but especially for his family, so our thoughts and prayers are with him.
Police say the driver of the car, 26-year-old Suzanne Whitlow, was taken to the hospital with minor injuries, and she has been charged with 2 counts of manslaughter and 1 count of DUI. In Lexington, Sabir Rayford, WKYT.
At last check, Whitlow had not been booked into the Fayette County Detention Center yet. New tonight, toxicology reports show Miami Marlins pitcher Jose Fernandez had cocaine and alcohol in his system when his boat crashed last month. In an autopsy report released today, Fernandez's cause of death was listed as boat crash. The 24-year-old and 2 of his friends died in that crash along South Beach. Toxicology reports show the other 2 men also had alcohol in their systems. 1 had cocaine. And we've learned tonight the names of the 2 people killed in a crash in southern Kentucky. State police say 15-year-old Macy Drake and 15-year-old Abigail Curry were on an ATV that collided with a pickup truck on Highway 206 in Adair County. Troopers believe that ATV drove into the path of the truck. Another teenager who was on the ATV was taken to UK hospital in critical condition. The driver of that truck was checked out at a nearby hospital. New at 11, a traffic stop in Boyle County landed 2 people in jail on drug charges. Deputies stopped a car on Highland Court in Danville for what they say were minor traffic violations. During the stop, deputies said they found crystal meth, digital scales, cash, and packaged rock salt. Stephen Moore and Marsha Anderson were booked into jail on several drug charges. Moore also faces traffic charges. Kentucky State Police are searching for an inmate from the Three Forks Regional Detention Center tonight. Troopers say 42-year-old Billy Shepard walked away from work release Friday morning in Wolfe County. The jail does not have a picture of Shepard on their roster, but we're told he's a white man who's 5'7" and about 140 pounds with brown hair and blue eyes. Troopers think he could be in Wolfe or Magoffin counties. State police are also looking for a missing Ohio man who disappeared in Laurel County on his way to Florida. Troopers say 74-year-old Robert Boudon was last seen turning on Highway 80, turning into the London Marathon gas station. They tell us his wife was following him in another car but got held up in traffic. When she got to that gas station, Boudon was gone. Now, troopers say Boudon was driving a 1989 Chevy Silverado 3500 pickup truck with a camper top on it. He's not arrived at his destination in Florida yet. Boudon is 6 feet tall and 140 pounds with brown hair and brown eyes. It's a Halloween tradition here in Lexington. Tonight, hundreds of zombies packed into the downtown area to recreate Thriller. It's been more than 30 years since Michael Jackson's Thriller video first aired, and the undead still come together in downtown Lexington to celebrate with dance and a parade.
No, we've been planning her for a while. She's obsessed with aliens, so we decided to go for that idea because they're one of her favorite things ever.
Aliens, German Shepherds, unicorns, a little bit of everything. The Halloween festivities in Lexington continue on Monday. Trick-or-treating is scheduled for 6 to 8 Monday night. Still to come on WKYT, another fall meet is in the books for Keeneland. Why leaders say this year's meet was anything but normal.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Jim Caldwell.
What a night out there for you. It's October 29th, and we're past 11 o'clock. We're at 11:12 to be exact, and it is warm out there. All kinds of it showing up. 65 right now in Lexington. Now, you do find some cooler spots, mid-50s, upper 50s to our south. That's still very pleasant for this time of year. Today, we set a new record high here in Lexington. Let's check it out. We got up to 82 degrees today here. The old record was 81, set back in 1971, so there's a brand new one settling in for you, and it was certainly warm out there. Now we have more possibilities of that moving forward here as we go into next week with more heat building in. A little bit of cloud cover out ahead of our next system, kind of inching into the skies across northern and here into central Kentucky as well, so we'll run into that. We've got a system, a frontal boundary that's on the move. You can see some showers associated with it, and even tonight it's a very thin band of rain, and a lot of the data that's been coming in here over the last little bit is trying to downplay even the shower presence tomorrow, which again, we keep the mention alive because we might run into a rogue shower or two. This front's going to be a lot like most fronts we've seen here recently. When it gets here, it's going to cool us off naturally, but it's much, that's really about it. Not much more than that's going to happen from it. Again, you might run into that shower, but most of us will stay on the dry side. We get into Monday, and it sets up shop essentially over us. Eventually, what's going to happen, though, is it's going to start moving back to the northeast as a warm front, and that is going to allow for our temperatures to climb again. So the Halloween setup that we have, got a warm front sitting about right across central portions of Kentucky. So you go out to the west, where Paducah, Bowling Green, very warm stuff. Here, we're going to be comfortable as well. We're still in the mid-70s, still about 11 degrees above normal for this time of year, but you could run into some 60s to our north as well. And to look a little bit deeper into that Halloween forecast, we'll break down some key hours. 74 by 4 o'clock if the kids are out early, 70, and then into the mid-60s by the time we get toward the 8 o'clock hour. Still very pleasant. Pleasant again on Tuesday, downright warm if you want to know the truth. And then another front will pay us a visit. This one might have a little more to it and bring some more rain chances and some cooler air, Sean.
And when you say cooler, I mean, it's all relative. I still see 60s in there.
It's true.
So.
It's around normal. Right, so there you go.
Right. We'll take that all day long. We're getting spoiled right now. Thanks, Jim. The above normal temperatures were the perfect way to wrap up a fall meet at Keeneland, but that was anything but normal. Keeneland leaders say average attendance this meet during the week was nearly 13,000. Over the weekend, that number was double. They also tell us the excitement from last October's Breeders' Cup drew more people to the track this year.
That momentum that we had from Breeders' Cup has really carried through. We saw that in the spring, and we've seen that again in the fall with large crowds. It's really created more of an awareness of Keeneland, both nationally and internationally.
Even though the racing is over, there's still a lot going on at Keeneland in the coming months. November 8th is the start of the November breeding stock sale. Still ahead, UK got a big win on the road in Missouri today. Lee K will have a look at the highlights next in Game Time.
Kentucky football entered Missouri this afternoon with a chance to pick up a 5th win on the season and move one step closer to bowl eligibility. The Wildcats proving the best way to 5 is on the ground. Mark Stoops' team also looking for a 3rd straight win in league play. First quarter facing a 3rd and 2. Boom Williams takes the handoff, burst up the middle, and it's a foot race to the end zone. 60 yards to give UK a 7-0 lead. Boom surpasses 2,000 career rushing yards on that play there. Same score in the second quarter after several consecutive run plays. Wildcats setting up this pass. Steven Johnson airs it out to a Jeff Bedette, who is wide open, 65 yards in stride. Just place it in the end zone. Now 14-0 Wildcats. Cats fittingly ran a heavy dose of the Wildcat offense this afternoon. Benny Snell picks up 23 on this play, down to the 1-yard line. Next play, Snell is rewarded for his effort with the 1-yard score. Snell's 7th touchdown of the season. It was a 21-7 UK lead at the half. We go to the third quarter now. More ground and pound for the Wildcats. Snell with a gain of 32 here, and Snell surpasses the century mark on this play, becoming the first UK freshman with back-to-back 100-yard games since Derek Locke in '96. A few plays later on third down, Johnson under pressure dumps it off to Williams. 13 yards and another score. Johnson, pretty decent day. Passed for 208 yards and 2 touchdowns. Early fourth quarter, Snell does it again, this time from 18 yards out to give Kentucky a 35-7 lead. Snell's 8th touchdown of the year, surpassing who else? Randall Cobb for the most touchdowns in a season by a UK freshman. The Wildcats hold on to win 35-21 behind a big day from Boom Williams and Benny Snell. Only the second time in the past 10 years an SEC team has had 2 players reach 175 yards rushing in a conference game. The Cats now 1 win away from becoming bowl eligible.
I loved our guys' preparation, and that's not coach speak. I love the way they went about it. You know, this group's, that's why I just asked them right now, are we satisfied? Is that it? Are we satisfied with this, or are we going to go take it to another level? And that's what I love coaching about them. They want to go to work. You know, I want them to enjoy it. They should. And the music's on in there, and they're having fun, and they should. But tonight, go home and watch somebody else sweat and relax, and let's get back to work on Monday and not be satisfied. And so that's our mindset.
Kentucky goes for 377 yards on the ground, the most against an SEC opponent since 1953. That to go with 205 yards through the air, the 582 yards and an SEC best for the Wildcats this season. The Wildcats did turn the ball over twice, but UK dominated the time of possession. Almost 40 minutes with the ball. Kentucky fans, of course, cheering for Georgia this afternoon because a Bulldog win over Florida would give UK first place in the SEC East. No easy task, though, for Georgia against the 14th-ranked Gators. Second quarter, 7-3, Florida on top. Jacob Eason buying some time and connecting with Riley Ridley for the 14-yard touchdown. Georgia takes the lead 10-7. Later in the second quarter, Florida inside the 5-yard line. Jordan Scarlett takes it off the left side, pushes his way through for the 2-yard touchdown for the Gators. Third quarter, though, Antonio Callaway takes the handoff on the jet sweep here and finds the end zone for a 4-yard touchdown. Florida keeps the lead in the SEC East with the 24-10 win. Kentucky will get Georgia next week. Fifth-ranked Louisville getting a big test on the road at Virginia today. Fourth quarter, 17-14, Virginia on top. Lamar Jackson with a 10-yard touchdown pass to Reggie Bonifant to give Louisville the 21-17 lead. Cavaliers did have the answer. Ben Kurt delivers a 4-yard touchdown pass to Donovan Dowling. 2-point conversion was good to give Virginia the 25-24 lead. Louisville then had to put together a game-winning drive. 18 seconds left on the clock. Jackson connects with Jalen Smith in the back of the end zone for the game-winning touchdown. 35-25. Louisville escapes the upset to improve to 7-1 on this season. How about Kentucky State hosting Lane College? Lane up 7-0 in the first. Marcus Reynolds going to throw it right at KSU's Matthew Bizimana, but he can't make the interception, and Omari Hampton snags the rebound but then pays the price there. Second quarter, favorite play of the day. Here's why. Not because Reynolds going up top and finding Hampton for the end zone for the touchdown, but the celebration. Be careful on the celebration. That's going to leave a mark. He would be okay. Still in the second, it's former Bryan Station product Cloyd, going to take this one to the house. This one gets the Breads on the board. However, KSU falls at home to Lane, 35-21, the final. Well, the Bengals will play a home game in London Sunday morning, and the Kentucky basketball team tips off its exhibition season Sunday night. It'll be a special night for John Calipari. That's next on Game Time. Tuesday night's Mega Millions jackpot is $40 million. It won't count towards the overall record, but the Kentucky basketball team tips off its exhibition season tomorrow night against Clarion. You may be asking yourself, why is Kentucky playing a school from the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference? Well, the answer, of course, is it's John Calipari's alma mater. That means plenty of familiar faces will be in the Rupp stands for Cal.
My college coach will be here. My high school coach, who went to Clarion, will be here. They're going to bring down some alums and different things, and so a couple of the players. I've been so busy. I called the other day and said, "Why don't you invite all the guys that I played with? Get them down here." And so that was only like 2 days ago.
The basketball season is here. Kentucky and Clarion tip-off set for 7 o'clock Sunday night at Rupp Arena. See it on the SEC Network. We'll have the highlights for you at 11 right here on WKYT. Quarterfinals of the boys state soccer tournament tonight at Lafayette. It's South Laurel and Dunbar. The Dogs on the attack early and often opening minutes. It's Caleb Norris putting a shot in the net, but Antonio Busto Soto is there to get the hand on it. Literally a minute later, though, Dunbar's Javier Delgado gets a look and finds the left corner of the net, just beating Soto there. Bulldogs take a 1-0 lead. Dunbar keeping the pressure on. Eduardo Navarro takes the centering pass and puts his right foot into it for another goal for the Dogs. Dunbar wins big 6-1 to advance. Well, the NFL returns to London on Sunday with the Bengals and Redskins meeting in historic Wembley Stadium. Despite being 4,000 miles away from Cincinnati, this will be a home game for the Bengals and a chance to get to 500. The game kicks off Sunday morning at 9:30 Eastern, so adjusting to the early kickoff will be important.
I think it's just going to be new for everybody. Obviously, we've got to get sleep and get rest as much as we can, especially with the time change and the way the travel is going to be. So I think that's the biggest thing.
You know, this is our first experience, but you know, the NFL and so forth that continues to put it on in management, they still feel that there's obviously an audience and a thirst for NFL football there.
Game 4 of the World Series has just gone final. We check in with the highlights next on Game Time. The Cleveland Indians needed just one run in Game 3 to take a 2-1 lead in the World Series over the Cubs. Tonight, Game 4 at Wrigley, and a chance to tie this series for the Cubbies. First inning, Anthony Rizzo's base hit drops into center field. Dexter Fowler come on home, rounds third and scores to make it 1-0 Cubs. Go to the top of the second, though. Carlos Santana, not that one, drives the John Lackey pitch deep to right field and gone. The Indians tied up at 1 apiece. We move to the 7th, now 4-1 Cleveland with runners on the corners, and the former Kentucky Wildcat Jason Kipnis breaks it wide open. A 3-run shot over the ivy to make it 7-1. A double, a homer, and a single for Kipnis tonight. Big night for him, big night for the Indians as they get the win by the final score of 7-2 to take a 3-1 series lead. Game 6 is coming up tomorrow night. And it was the final day at Keeneland, by the way. Noble Bird wins wire to wire, wins the Haggard-Fayette Stakes to end the Keeneland Fall Meet. It was a fun time. It was a fun time here tonight. Thanks so much for joining us. Good night, Kentucky.